Hello YouTube. Today I'm going to take a first look at this tarot. Actually, it's not a tarot deck. It's an oracle deck that I got a couple of days ago, and this is the Anubis Oracle. This is my first oracle deck, so I'm pretty excited about using it. Most of the decks I have are tarot cards, so this is my first oracle deck, and I'm very pleased with this deck. So let's have a look at it. Anyway, this is how it comes. It slides out like this, and it comes with a big old book. So this is the book that it comes with. Let's open this up. The pictures in the book are in black and white, which is okay because we have the cards as a reference. But this is really a cool deck. I'm not going to go over all the cards, but I'm going to show you a couple of the cards, those of you who are interested in buying this deck. And just to let you know, any deck that I have on this channel, I recommend. I usually don't do decks that suck. That would be a cool, that'd be kind of a cool series. Decks that suck. Nah. I'm not going to do that. So, as for right now, these are the tarot decks that tarot decks and oracle decks that I like. So I like this one. This is the Anubis Oracle. Nikki Scully, Linda Starwood, illustrated by Chris Wadher. The book is not that thick, so you can read through this pretty quickly. So I'm happy about that. Is nicely put together, so that's always a plus. Now let's look at the cards. It's a pretty good card stock. This is the main card. This is, of course, the opener of the way. This is Anubis. And one of the things that drew me to this deck is the fact that it has some Egyptian or Kemetic deities in here, but it's not all traditional. It's kind of mixed in with kind of like shamanic interpretations. When you look at the cards, this is a card that you want to sit with and meditate with. So this is really cool. So this the artwork and the symbology is a little bit different than what you would see in ancient Kemet or ancient Egypt. Alright, so this is the opener of the way, Anubis. This is the dove, and this is the initiate, and it represents innocence and trust. You can see that. Sorry about the glare there. Very interesting. There's a sun and the moon here, and has papyri leaves on the bottom, and I really like it. It's really cool. Hopefully, if I hold it on an angle like this, you can kind of see it a little bit better. Sorry if my camera here doesn't do it complete justice. Alright, here's another one. This is the Alchemist, the Wisdom Keeper and Grandmother. And of course, this is a vulture. Isn't that great? Awesome, awesome. And in one hand, he has the Ankh. Usually in Egyptian or Kemetic symbology, you would see birds with two Ankhs. So for some reason, the Alchemist here has one Ankh in his talons here. So I find that interesting. So if you want to know why, refer to the book. Alright, so let's go to another one. This is Nethys, the High Priestess. She represents intuition and mystery. And that's great that they did this with these cards. They show you the picture, and they tell you what the picture is. In this case, the High Priestess, and they kind of give you a real short interpretation, intuition and mystery. meaning of it. Not necessarily interpretation, but the meaning of the card. And then you can go into deeper meanings by reading the book, and even deeper meanings by through meditation, reading the cards from your heart and meditating on the cards and what they mean. And this is a really cool one. This is Isis, or as I know her, Aset, and she is the Holy Queen, Mother of us all, embodied manifestation of love. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. Now, I've seen this card before. Before I usually buy a tarot deck, I Google the images to make sure that this is the tarot, or not tarot, this is the Oracle deck. Anyway, to make sure that the deck that I'm buying, if it's a tarot deck or an Oracle deck, I want to make sure that it's something I can vibe with. So this is one of the images that came up, and this is Canoe. And I just kind of fell in love with this. This is really cool. And here it has, Canoe is the master craftsman, the creator of form, organizing principle. That's what he means, organizing principle. So it looks like he's fashioning mankind on the potter's wheel here. And he has a scarab there, right there, which represents transformation. So, awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, as I said, I'm not going to go through all these cards, so I'm going to skip a couple of them because I don't want this video to be too long. This one is really cool because I don't see the nectar or the god Sobek represented in tarot decks that much. But here we have Sobek and what looks like Haru or Horace. Yeah. Oh, actually, it says Sobek and Horace right here. Anyway, it says here recognition of opposites. Awesome, awesome. And it says here it means forgiveness and understanding. So that's what you would get if you're doing a oracle reading for someone, or if you're doing an oracle reading for yourself. And yes, I do read cards for myself. I see no reason why not to. I did a video on that, so check out that video if you're wondering why I do tarot readings for myself. Alright, so this is Sekhmet, and I've never seen Sekhmet illustrated like this before. This would actually make a great tattoo, so when I do start getting tattoos, I will keep this one in mind. But anyway, here's the card with 3 cobras. It's like Sekhmet is riding 3 cobras. Isn't that really cool? And here it represents transformation, fierce compassion, and it's the healer. Lovely, lovely. This one is Ma'at, and of course, we know that Ma'at represents truth, justice, reciprocity, so on, balance. And here we have Ma'at with the heart right there. It doesn't have, it heart and a feather. You can see that right there. Sorry about the glare here. Part of the glare is actually the card that has kind of her face kind of blocked off there by the sun, so it's not totally my fault you can't see the card. But yeah, truth, radiance, and balance. So here, it explains why you can't see part of her face, because of the radiance that comes through the card. Okay, skip a couple of these. If you want to see the full deck, buy the deck. Or you can always Google some of these too. Like I say, I don't want to go through all the cards because it would take too long. Alright. this card here, I really dig. This is Kepra. And Kepra is, now this is interesting because usually when I see the dung beetle Kepra, he's pushing the sun up. And here it looks like he's pushing the moon up. So I'm interested in why they have Kepra pushing up the moon. And if that is a sun, now that has to be the moon because it's dark. I was going to say if that was a moon, if it was a sun, it's not very bright, but no, that can't be the sun. That is definitely the moon. And here it says here, Kepra is the card is the cycle of change, and he is the planetary guardian and the spiral dancer. So if you want to know what that means, get the deck, read the book. Now this is totally a different concept from what I'm used to, but that's okay. You know, it's someone else's interpretation of Egyptian mythology or Egyptian spiritual practice. So that's great. Bringing it to the modern age. You know, we don't always have to stay stuck in the past when we are studying ancient Kemet. This is really cool. This one is Bast, and it has here holy longing and desire, intent and sensuality. Nice. So we have here, it looks like a black cat, but almost it looks like it's a dark brown, like a dark brown cat. But that is really cool. This is another image that I saw when I Googled the cards before I bought the deck. This is Anubis or Impu, and it has here surrender, and it has I can't talk. It has here shaman, enlightened heart. So he's a shaman and an enlightened heart here. And he represents surrender. Now this, in a regular tarot deck, of course, would be the Hanged Man. And I'm guessing here, I haven't read through the book yet, but it looks like this is like the Tree of Life, and he's hanging from the Tree of Life. Okay, let's get this bright here. You don't touch your mouse on your computer, it starts getting dim. That's not good. Anyway, I really like this. So Anubis here is almost like fruit, getting ready to blossom, or he's going into like a shamanic journey. He's looking at things from a different perspective. He's going into the underworld, kind of. All right, so the next card is Asar or Osiris. And here, the card represents regeneration, transmutation, and beauty. So it would be the beauty of nature, right? Like I said, a lot of these cards kind of go out of the standard traditional interpretation of the deity or the nectar of the god. And it kind of gives you a new flavor or a new meditation on it, which I do like. Some people might not like that, but I actually like it. So I think it's really cool. So this is regeneration. And because I'm a Libra, this is one of my favorite Kemetic deities. This is Hathor. And it has here, the card is magic. And the card represents medicine, a medicine woman, and interrogation? No, integration. Integration, okay. Did you see that? Nice. Okay, now this card here would be the Devil card in the regular tarot deck. And, oh, just to let you know, this tarot deck, it doesn't have, it's not a full deck. So it looks like it has, it doesn't give, let me see if it gives me a number, how many cards it has in here. It's on here somewhere, but I don't want to waste waste a whole lot of time looking, see how many cards are in this deck. But, you know, this is basically the deck, so you don't get a full, you know, like tarot deck or oracle deck. So it's a little bit less, but that's okay. You know, that's okay because the cards are beautiful. Anyway, this is the devil card um, in this deck, and of course, the devil in Kemet or ancient Egypt would be Set. Set represents the shadow. I love this card, and it says adversarial, ally, and trickster. Nice. Here's another really cool card. And those of you who know me know that I'm going to be getting some tattoos as soon as I get some little extra cash. And who knows, I might get something from this deck because I think this deck is really cool. Anyway, this here is Wajet, and it represents life force energy, purification, and a divine awakener. So it looks like the cobra here has the eye of Heru here, and it's a cobra with the crown of one of the crowns of Egypt. I believe that would be lower Egypt, if I'm not mistaken. Either upper or lower Egypt. Sorry, I had to look it up, but yeah, it's the king cobra because he has a crown on his head. Okay. Now I really like this. This is Star Consciousness. It represents generosity and bodhisattva. So they kind of bring in a little bit of the Buddhist interpretation here. But this is solstice. And it's bright because it's a star. Number 17. Interesting. Generosity and bodhisattva. The next card, this is another card that I Googled and it helped me actually get this deck. This is Konsu and it represents lunar energy, divine timing, and blood mysteries. So it's basically Konsu with a crown on his head. It's like a baboon sitting on top of a mountain. No, sitting on top of the moon. And the moon is sitting on top of some waves. Alright, so I'm going to thumb through here, go over a couple more. I don't want to go over all the cards here, so I'm just going to go over the ones that stand out. Of course, this is the pyramid, sacred archetypal element of Earth. Interesting thing about a pyramid in a oracle deck or a tarot deck, to me it could represent the Earth because it sits on top of the Earth. It could also represent fire because it can, you know, pyramids, when they're that big, cast a shadow. So it can also be associated with the sun too. Now I'm not sure if the person who came up with this oracle deck, you know, made that type of connection, but I just make that myself. Because to me, it seems obvious, you know, the sun and the earth. All right, so let me kind of go through these real quick. Like I said, I'm skipping to a couple of these. I don't want to go over them all. This one, I like this one. This is called Sacred Purpose, and it's it has multi deities in here, and it has Ptah, Nut, Jeb, and Anubis. So this would be a really good card to meditate on, because there's a lot happening here, and I can see a lot of symbology here. A lot of symbology here, so this is really cool. Okay, let's see. Skip a couple of these so the video isn't too long. This card I really like. It kind of stuck out. This is Higher Love and Wisdom, and here, and this is like, this would be like the major cards I'm going over here and looking at. So, like I said, I haven't read through the whole booklet yet, so that's my guess on what's happening here. Because these cards right here are all in Roman numerals, whereas the other cards are just regular numbers. So these have extra importance, and I can tell because they have multiple deities in them. So this will all kind of be like a major arcana in a tarot deck in a way, but it's an oracle deck. Alright. Alright, so here you have Hathor, Set, and Wajet, Higher Love and Wisdom. Artwork on here is absolutely awesome. Look at that. And let's see. I'm going to go over 3 more. This one is Sacred Relationship, Canoe, Sobek, Horace, Sekhmet, and the Sphinx, which I call Heru Imekete. Anyway, look, there's a lot happening here. You could probably do a whole tarot reading or oracle reading for someone just based on this card. There's a lot happening here. Multiple gods, multiple symbolism here. So yeah, there's a lot. This is definitely a card where you have to do some deep meditation on. Okay, this is card Roman numeral number 1. And this is called Entering the Mystery. And here we have a dove, Nekabet, Mother, Mut, Nephis, and Isis, or a set. Sorry about the darkness that's happening here. Like I said, if you don't move the mouse, it starts getting dark. Like the computer starts going to sleep. Alright, anyway. Dove, Nekabet, Mother, Mut, Nephis, and Isis, which I call a set. Entering the Mystery. Awesome. And the last card that I'm going to go over in this video, actually I showed you quite a bit of. I only left out a couple. Anyway, this is the Tree of Life. Hey, remember when I mentioned earlier that I think this is the Tree of Life? Yes, this was the Tree of Life. Because it has the same tree, and it has Anubis in the same position, but you have a couple more deities. You have Bast and Osiris, or Asar in here. So here we go. So if you're looking for an oracle deck to get, I recommend this. I was not paid to do this. I'm just doing this because I really like the deck. And the decks I have on this channel are decks that I recommend. So if you're in the market to get an oracle deck, I recommend you go out and get this deck, because I really dig it, you know. Tell them Merlin sent you if you get it. Alright, until next time, love is the law, and as always, peace. Uncle Josh Snell.